That Trinominotrus back of the head was sure greedy. Alright, well, we healed when we... Whew, got scared there. We had our daily lag out moment. SNES. I thought it was going to crash and I was going to lose everything. However, realized that was not the case as I sat there patiently and it eventually responded. So I cranked up the FPS a bit. I feel like an idiot for not having it up higher earlier. I was actually having some trouble with the recording. It was pausing and things like that. So I was trying a bunch of different things to see if maybe I could get the recording to not freeze up so much. One of those things was lowering the frame rate. However, it turned out what fixed the problem had nothing to do with the frame rate. It's a bit depressing the way they keep picking us up and dropping us down, isn't it? But anyway, it turned out what I had to do to fix it wasn't anything to do with the frame rate. And so I should have had it turned up a bit higher. However, it's up now. Hope you can tell the difference. We want this guy not to pick us up at all. We want him to go away, actually. Thank goodness. Alright friends, so here's the make or break part of the game. Hey there, reptile. Here's the entrance. Pause forever. Entrance to the sky world. Try to jump into it without hesitating. But if something goes wrong in there, remember it was your choice. Whee! I don't know why I did this. Celebration for your bravery. You evolved into birds. That's right, friends. We're no longer in the dinosaur reptile stage of things. We're now pterodactyl, which I guess is still a dinosaur, but they classify it as a bird since now we can start evolving things like, oh, what can we evolve? I believe it was I just like kick that guy out of the air. This is my airspace, boy. Get out of here. Well, we can start evolving things like feathers. Alright. We are now a bird. We can enter a level that we previously could not have entered, which is this mountain place. The hidden land of the mammals. Time will come for us! Chew! Oh, the enemies are coming! Yeah, we can eat some dead mice here. Or, well, I don't have a long enough neck to be able to, but... we can, however, fly. We don't have to deal with this ice. You can see the little mammals running away. They look like squirrels, so a sign of the era to come. However, I hate to tell you this, friends, we're pretty much back to square one. And yes, we're gonna need to go back and find something to level up on. Oh, how about we find those annoying yelling monsters that drop 50 EXP. Those guys were fairly harmless, weren't they? Yeah, these guys. Alright, so if we do this right, and that's not the right way to do it, we should just be able to dash into him a couple times. Grab the EXP here. 50 EXP, kablam! Yeah, you do notice, look up there at our EVO bar, we lost everything. Our teeth really aren't that great. They do a single damage point. We really want to rely on our claws for striking. We can no longer eat plants. We just can't get down that low. Oh boy. Getting hit has the unfortunate side effect of knocking us out of the air. I'm gonna be level with you, friends. Normally, I pretty much never do this. I avoid becoming a pterodactyl like it's the plague. Because it kind of is like the plague in some ways. Wow, you can go really high up here, can't you? I'm actually moving to the left, you just can't tell. Now I'm moving to the right. We have 200 EXP, let's evolve something here. Alright, I've been kind of hiding it, but here are the dinosaur jaws, right? With the bottom being the Tyrannosaurus jaws, otherwise known as the Tyrannosaurus jaws. But if you come down here, you unlock another set of jaws. That all belong to the bird. You can get a fin. An Etosaurus fin. Yeah, all of our tails changed. It looks like the dorsal fin stayed pretty much the same. Back of the head is the same. Neck is the same. We no longer can go four-legged or two-legged. We do have to go two-legged. We can decrease our body size. That would be interesting. Not quite sure what effect that would have. Alright, well, let's get a dorsal fin. That's probably what's going to help us the most. Can barely see it there. Yeah, it's the Etosaurus fin. Still can barely see it, anyway. It's going to let us do a little more striking damage. It's convenient. Can we attack people by jumping on them? Yeah, does like nothing, though. Ow. Yeah, you pretty much... See, that's the thing, though. That's what's so fun about this. By turning into a pterodactyl, you pretty much go back to stage 1. Not quite sure. Maybe some of the bosses are easier if you're a pterodactyl. I could imagine that... Well, pretty much the reason we're having so much trouble with these guys is because their attack doesn't actually have to hit you. But the fact that we can fly would probably be a pretty big advantage in a boss combat situation. We really need to increase our striking ability. It's about the only thing we have. But with this advanced amount of mobility, you do really suffer in a couple departments. One of the biggest departments, obviously, is going to be our attack power. Our attack power is not anywhere as high as it was. Yes, you can level yourself up to get more attack power. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember if we're going to equal what we had in attack power previously. But I will say the bird jaws do not... They're not going to be as strong as the dinosaur jaws. I do want to say, though, you get a bonus for using the correct jaws for whatever animal you are. Or you get a bonus for having all the correct pieces of an animal. I've only tested it on the mammals because, frankly, when I'm a dinosaur, I just slap on whatever the biggest jaws I can get on and I don't even care. But when you're a mammal, things get a little different, and evolving to become bigger and better is not necessarily the way you want to go. You want to evolve kind of just to become a specific animal, like a cat or a horse or something like that. And if memory serves correctly, you get a bonus if you have all the pieces of the correct animal together all at once. Yeah, I guess we'll get a snake's tail. We'll also get a better dorsal fin here. Stegosaurus dorsal fin on a pterodactyl. Now that's wild. We do 5 damage now. Quite a bit faster as well. Quite a bit faster, actually. I did beat the game once as a pterodactyl. I am going to ruin a little bit of a plot point for you. Well, it's not a plot point, but it's insight into farther into the game. Farther into the game, you get to choose what kind of animal you are. Because right now we pretty much have been at the mercy of Gaia. She just changes us whenever she wants to. However, alright, this is a bit annoying. However, we could actually spend the rest of the game as... Once you hit this area, you don't have to change anymore. You can stop changing. And so the first time I beat the game, I didn't even know you could become a mammal. I beat the game literally as a dinosaur. And then, of course, I figured out you could become a mammal, went back and beat it as a mammal. Then I figured out that you can become a human, so I went back and beat it as a human. Then I figured out you could become a pterodactyl, so I went back and beat it as a pterodactyl. Doesn't change the ending. You get the same ending no matter what. I absolutely hate the human. He has to be the worst evolution I've ever seen. It's kind of funny, I'm sure there's an anecdote there about the human society and all that. Alright, we're probably just gonna go for our Pronosaurus dorsal fin here. A little bit more damage. Maybe we should go fight the Stegas, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that was a mistake. I will bite you with my beak! Caw! What I'm really looking for is, I want to try and get a feathered body. I want to try and make us look as bird-like as possible and see if maybe, just maybe. And I always wondered, I was never sure, but they spent all this time to make a mechanic where you can fly in the game. And yet, not only is it optional, but I'm just going to tell you, if you choose to become a mammal, whether you're a dinosaur or a pterodactyl, it does not affect your mammalness in any way. And so I always wondered, well, why even bother programming all this nonsense with being a bird or being a pterodactyl? I mean, to me, I'm not asking why, like, why do they do it because I don't want it. No, of course, it's awesome. I love the fact that there's so many options available to me. What I don't understand is why would you do it from a marketing standpoint? True, this is back in the days of the SNES. Back when games were made to make money, but they were also, by and large, made by people who loved to make them. Things were just starting to kick off with the SNES, and, well, let's be honest. You know, if you went and sat at a lunch table in middle school and said, "Hi, I play the SNES," everyone was kind of like, "Oh, you're kind of a nerd, aren't you?" And then as time passed, people realized that, well, video games are actually pretty awesome. And, you know, instead of being a geek if you played video games, you were actually, like, a geek if you didn't play video games. Or should I say the mainstream video games. You were still a geek if you didn't only play Halo or Madden. Oh my gosh. I don't have a problem with Halo, but I do have a problem with Madden being, like, biggest waste of programming ever created. I probably miffed off just about anyone who loves Madden now. I'm sorry for you, but go out and play a real video game. That was mean, I'm sorry, but all I'm saying is video games are kind of meant to be, they're meant to be fantasy, and so when you make a game of football, unless it's like a fantasy football game, there are actually a couple hardcore football games that make absolutely no sense, where like bazookas and rocket launchers are involved or something like that. And I had a friend of mine telling me about it one time, but I don't rightly remember exactly what it was about, but it's one of those kind of things. If it's like that, it's different, but people... Well, enough about that. What a stupid creature. It has been a long time since we have seen a daredevil. Let us howl to inform the other Pronosaurus that a stupid creature is approaching. Yes, well, kind of do look a bit stupid, don't we? Oh boy, that's a lot of defense on that guy. Oh boy, he's also a helicopter. Who knew? Armadillo thingies are helicopters. Let's actually get a better tail. There we are. I didn't really get a good look at it. I'm sure it looks ridiculous. But the fact remains is that we have it. Now here's the real question, friends. Oh dear word. Oh, what a creature to come here. Tyrannosaurus will be upset unless we defeat it. Let's go. Be careful of these guys. They can do some damage to you.